Picture this. You're scrolling Instagram at midnight, private jet, designer fits, rooftop pool with the whole city glowing behind it. The caption says, "Living my best life." And you think, how? How do they afford this? What does that life actually cost? And more importantly, is any of it even real? Because here's what nobody's saying out loud. A massive portion of the influencer lifestyle you're watching is financed by debt, props, and borrowed time. And in 2026, the whole thing is starting to crack. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most elaborate financial illusions of the social media era. How creators go broke, chasing the aesthetic that's supposed to make them rich. Stay with me, because this goes way deeper than you think. Section 1. The $500 billion mirage. Let's start with a number that sounds incredible. The creator economy is on track to be worth $480 to $500 billion by 2027. Goldman Sachs said it. Business media repeated it. Aspiring influencers screenshot it and put it in their vision boards. Here's the number nobody leads with. Nearly half of all creators earned less than $500 last year. Not $500 a month, $500 for the entire year. In a survey of over 400 US-based creators, only 8.7% broke six figures. Roughly 4% of the entire creator economy earns over $100,000 annually. The rest? They're splitting the crumbs. So who's actually getting that $500 billion? It's concentrated at the very top, a small elite of mega creators and celebrities who capture the lion's share of brand deals, while the rest compete in an increasingly brutal race to the bottom. This is the creator economy's dirty little secret. It's shaped exactly like every other economy, wildly unequal. But it sells the dream of being the exception. And to chase that dream, a lot of creators are doing something dangerous. They're spending money they don't have to look like they already made it. Section 2. Fake rich culture. How it works. Here's how the cycle works, step by step. You start a channel. You post consistently. You start getting some traction, maybe 20,000, 50,000 followers. Not massive, but growing. And then you notice something. The creators blowing up aren't just funnier or smarter than you. They look richer. Their thumbnails are sharper. Their apartments are cleaner. Their wardrobes cost more per outfit than your rent. So you do what the algorithm seems to reward. You upgrade, you rent a better backdrop. You lease a car you can't afford. You buy designer pieces on credit for content. You eat at the trendy restaurant not because you can afford it, but because the post will perform. Industry insiders estimate that 70% of influencers who engage in heavy lifestyle faking eventually burn out or go into debt. One creator from the rich kids of Instagram era, after attracting 2 million followers on the strength of his lavish content, admitted he was $200,000 in debt trying to maintain an image that was never real. When the truth came out, 80% of his following disappeared overnight. But he's not alone. One influencer, Lisette Calvero, went on record with Fortune to explain how she racked up $10,000 in credit card debt in her mid-20s, simply trying to match the carefree Instagram lifestyle she thought she needed to project. Trips she couldn't afford, restaurants she couldn't justify, clothes she bought for a single photo. "You feel like you have to put up this interesting lifestyle," she said, "and that pressure, that invisible tax on your personal brand, is more real than most people admit." Section 3. The math nobody shows you. Let's talk about the actual economics of being a creator, because the gap between what looks profitable and what is profitable is enormous. Take YouTube. The platform paid out over $70 billion to creators over the last 3 years. Sounds generous. But divide that across 200 million global creators and the average share is tiny. On YouTube, only 3% of channels with 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers generate more than $100 a month from ad revenue. Brand deals are where the real money sits. About 68% of creator income comes from sponsorships. But here's the catch. Brand deals are unpredictable, inconsistent, and almost entirely controlled by the brand. One bad quarter, one algorithm change, one controversial video, and deals disappear. In 2023, Instagram's algorithm update caused a 45% drop in engagement for mid-tier influencers almost overnight. For creators who'd invested heavily in production, equipment, and content, that's not just a bad month, that's a financial crisis. And then there's the cost side nobody talks about. Camera gear, editing software, lighting rigs, location rentals, travel, wardrobe, editors, and thumbnail designers, props. All of this comes before a single dollar of revenue. One Mumbai-based creator quit his IT job, invested over $26,000 into building his fashion channel, equipment, styling, studio time, and peaked at $480 a month in earnings. He eventually had to sell his gear and walk away. He was the rule, not the exception. Add to that, new influencers almost universally forget about taxes. No one's withholding from your brand deal check. Self-employment taxes, quarterly payments, state taxes, they hit you all at once. And a lot of creators don't see them coming until it's too late. Section 4. The burnout economy. Now, here's where it gets even darker, because it's not just about money. The creator economy runs on a fuel that burns fast: human attention, creative energy, and personal identity. And that fuel has a cost. Burnout rates in the creator space are staggering. Studies from 2025 put the figure between 62% and 73% of all creators reporting burnout, with financial instability cited as the #1 contributing factor. For creators who've been at it 8 or more years, the burnout rate climbs to 80%. Think about that. If you stay in this industry long enough, 4 out of 5 of your peers are running on empty. And 89% of those creators, nearly 9 in 10, lack access to specialized mental health resources. There's no HR department, no employee assistance program, no paid time off. You're a one-person business with no safety net, and the algorithm doesn't care if you're having a breakdown. This isn't just a personal tragedy, it's a systemic design flaw. The platforms profit from your content, the brands profit from your audience. But when you burn out, you're replaceable. A 2024 survey found that 37% of creators have seriously considered leaving the profession entirely, not taking a break, leaving. That number tells you everything about the gap between the dream and the reality. Section 5. Who's actually winning and how? So is there a path through this? Yes, but it looks nothing like what the algorithm shows you. The creators who actually build sustainable income share a few patterns that are worth paying attention to. First, they don't fake the lifestyle. They build the business. The top earners in creator surveys are almost all full-time operators with teams. They have editors, managers, brand deal coordinators. They treat content like a media, not a personal brand they're performing 24/7. They separate their personal finances from their business finances. They pay estimated quarterly taxes. They know their profit margins. Second, micro beats mega for profitability. Micro influencers, creators with 10,000 to 100,000 followers, now claim 45.5% of total influencer marketing spend. Brands have figured out that a tightly engaged niche audience converts better than a massive passive following. A creator with 30,000 hyper-loyal followers in a specific niche can outperform someone with 3 million bored ones. The money is following engagement, not vanity metrics. Third, they own their audience. Creators who build email lists, newsletters, Substacks, and communities that exist off-platform are 2.7 times more likely to earn over $31,000 annually than those who rely solely on social reach. Why? Because algorithms change overnight. Platforms get banned, but your email list, that's yours. That's what one analyst called liquid content capital assets that survive any platform shift. Fourth, they started lean and scaled slowly. The creators who avoid the debt trap treat content as a side project first, grow only when revenue justifies the next investment, and resist the pressure to look bigger than they are. They optimize for sustainability over aesthetics. Outro/call to action. Here's what I want you to take from this. The creator economy is real. The opportunity is real. There are people building genuinely great businesses as creators, but they are building businesses, not performing lifestyles. The private jet, likely rented, the designer apartment, a Airbnb for a shoot. The passive income life, built on a mountain of content, a team of people, and years of grinding before anyone was watching. If you're a creator or thinking about becoming one, the most valuable thing you can do right now is ignore the aesthetic and study the economics. Know your cost structure. Build an audience you actually own. Diversify your income before you need to, because the ones who last aren't the ones who look the richest. They're the ones who were honest about the math from the very beginning. If this gave you something to think about, hit like and subscribe. I cover the real side of the creator economy every week. Drop a comment below. Have you ever felt the pressure to fake a lifestyle for content? I genuinely want to know. See you next time.